Welcome back to Fashionably Purnia Season 2, Episode 1. And I'm super excited because I wanted the first episode to start with a bang, with somebody amazing. And the fact that I got Manish to even make time for me is a really big deal.
No, please.
So we are at Jio World Plaza, and it's a beautiful mall with all
Stunning
high-end
mall.
brands. And then, of course, your stunning shop, which is brand new. It's so, when you walk into a new place, everything is shiny. I feel like I'm in that new shiny world.
Yeah, we're not even a month old.
I don't need to introduce Manish because he's an icon in so many ways. Manish, I don't know. I don't even know where to start. Like, first of all, okay, thank you for coming.
No, please,
Yeah.
we've been wanting to do this.
You're probably the most famous fashion designer who doesn't need an introduction in India.
Oh God, thank you.
It's
But
true.
it's just that it's too many years of work, right? 34 years of work.
Yeah, mashallah.
Yeah,
Knock
so
on
it's
wood. Yeah.
also, I think it's just age.
Yeah, it's not just age. There are many people who are your contemporaries, but you're still the most famous.
Oh God,
for many
thank
good
you.
reasons.
Thank you.
First, I want to ask, how exhausted are you? Because I have never seen a red carpet with more outfits from one designer that I saw of yours at this Ambani wedding that happened recently. Everybody was in your outfit.
Well, I think more than outfits, I think the whole experience of working with Mrs. Neeta Ambani on, but when we did Jamnagar, the pre-wedding as well as the wedding, working on the whole curation and the creative direction and from the flowers to the decor, working with different artists, florists. We worked with Preston Bailey from New York,
Yeah, Preston
Jeff
Bailey.
Leatham from Paris and LA, Hina, and so many of them, and all different artists who are creative, interior people, and like for Sumant or the 70 or lots of them.
Sumant is a creative genius also.
Yeah.
They're all amazing in their own right.
So but to work with all of them, different people, whether it was Amrita, whether it was, Umang, and all of them, wonderful, wonderful people. And I think all of us were very excited because I think Mrs. Neeta Mani has this, she has this charm and she has this whole guts to work. And so all of us were very enthusiastic.
But aren't you exhausted? Because not
No, I
only
think
were
I'm
you helping with
excited.
creative direction
Yeah.
of all the events, you were doing pretty much everybody's outfits. It's a lot.
Yeah. It's been a lot of work, but I think I
Yeah.
love to work, as you know.
Yeah, you're a
And I
workaholic.
think
He's a
I
workaholic.
no, I miss it. I said, okay now, so, but of course, our August is also very busy right now
Yeah.
because it's wedding season.
Yeah.
So I think while my assistants are all like, look at me like, okay, so are we still going on with that speed? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I think it's something that I enjoy. And I think when it comes to movies, cinema, styling or lifestyle, whether it's flowers, furniture, any kind of aesthetic, I can just discuss it for 24 hours. From my childhood, I was fascinated by it. And I think that's just been my life.
You have to find assistants who have as much energy as you. I don't know. Is that a
I
thing on
do
the
have.
resume?
I
Like,
mean,
how much energy
no.
do you have?
So I kind of know, I do have that team which actually really worked so well with me.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was so happy when Mrs. Neeta Mani told me that. She said, Manish, your team is really good. And then she looked at me and said, it comes from the boss. Also.
Yeah, it always trickles top down, like how
No,
the
it's
work
been a
ethic-
great experience. And I think for fashion brands and fashion houses, which some of the Indian designers are becoming, I think it's very important to experience lifestyle and experience aesthetics and creativity in different fields and not just clothes. So we went into makeup and we went into jewelry.
Yeah, there's nothing
And,
you don't do.
And no. And I actually am also producing films now.
Yeah, I saw.
And so I think creativity has no boundaries, and it's just a different being. In fact, designed crockery for Vantara in
yeah.
Jamnagar, and I kind of really enjoyed that whole process. I'm house proud. I like to see good things when I go home, and right up to service and the way it's all served. And that's what we're doing with the brand as well. Widening the horizon,
Right.
and not just keeping it to clothes.
Yeah,
And I
your
think that's-
categories. You have every category now.
Yeah.
And I think as a
No, there's a lot
person-
more to do.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because you're always going. But you're very inspirational to me, and I'm sure to many people, because I like the fact that you don't bind yourself to one thing. Like you said, creativity is so fluid. You do so many things, and if you have interest in one, you can flow to another. The fact that you're producing films now, because you've worked in films for many years.
Yeah.
And then you're going to,
And I still do.
and you want to direct also.
That's right. I mean,
It's very inspiring because it just shows that one person can just be so much more than just one thing, not just a fashion designer for clothes. You can be everything. I'm surprised you're not getting into acting because you're beautiful as well.
Funny, I think I should meet you every month. I just feel so good about
Who
myself.
tells you you're not beautiful, Manish?
Nobody tells
You
me.
know this.
No, nobody tells me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Let's
you
leave.
just
I'm beginning to
exhausted
get
your team from
embarrassed.
working too
I'm
much.
like, okay, now let's go to the next question.
No, okay, fine. I'm a huge like fashion and film fanatic, and from my childhood, I've seen how the whole scenario of fashion changed in Bollywood once you came in. I remember my mom from my childhood making a comment that, thank God Manish Malhotra has introduced these women to a hair straightener. Because she was so done with the frizzy hair from
And
the,
the curls,
80s.
yeah.
And I just think that forget the hair, the whole look, these women started looking so incredible, like all the way from like Rangila. What was the first film you did?
Came into movies in 1990.
1990.
But Rangila was that film which kind of, see, they were all incredible actresses and they were all actors who were wanting to do something new. I think it was just that there was no one ready to tell them that why don't we go in that path. And honestly, even in those days, the roles would be like, oh, she's playing a glamorous girl. So now in that glamorous girl role, what can we do is what I would come with and say, let's do this look, let's wear this kind of clothes. Because
where were you getting your inspiration from? Your looks were iconic. The looks you set, I mean, like Sheher Ki Ladki, Rangila, that floral dress with the boots. I mean, Manish, like you don't understand, when people reference Bollywood, 99% of those references is your work. You're so iconic for Bollywood, and then that trickles down to fashion in the country in general.
I remember for Jab We Met when we wanted it like a whole small town, educated girl, and so we introduced like a t-shirt and a salwar or a kurti and jeans.
Crazy. That
so
was
that is a
amazing.
trend actually which goes on even today. So I love movies and I love working on characters, but I always feel that we all as people have our, we have some taste. Like you like a particular fit of a jeans, you like some color that is your favorite color. The way you do your hair, the way you wear your makeup.
Right.
So we're all the people in the room also right now. Each person has a different quirk, taste, like, dislike, all of it. And I think that's what I would give that character. Okay, this character likes these colors or likes this kind of dressing. I think that is what it was, and that's what became a look. And recently, the movies have become all about very normal dressing. So it was good to do a film like Rocky and Rani, where again we came back to the classic concept of giving a look.
Yes, she had quite a significant and quite a specific
look
to her.
It was Karan's idea, and he was very keen. And I was like, "Are you sure? Should we just do saris?" Now, when the director gives you the brief, no, let's just do saris. Then you've got to think, okay, what's her profession? Okay, I'm taking the liberty that she's wearing chiffons, but still, she would, I introduced handloom saris in it. She also wore malmal sari. In fact, her introduction is a malmal cotton sari.
Yes.
Things like that. So I think it kind of gives you such a wide horizon. And actually, that's something that we did even with the Ambani wedding, because Mrs. Ambani is so much into handloom and she carries it so beautifully.
She wears saris very well.
Very well. She carries
very
it
elegant
beautifully.
in saris, yeah.
And so we wanted to do a lot of more handloom clothes. Like we kind of worked with different artisans. We kind of, whether it was the color blocking, whether it was the kind of fabrics, the tissues, the brocades, everything. We kind of worked a lot with handloom this time, which is why in my new collection is all about that. So I think glamour is also taking its own different shapes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as we evolve and as time goes, it takes different shapes.
So we've done so much sequence work to the crafts. Let's give a lot more glamour. I mean, that's something that we've done with Mijwa for many years and with Kashmiri embroidery, but now it's a lot. Like I'm concentrating a lot on handloom and textiles and things like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it, and I think I may have sent you a message when Rocky and Rani came out, being like, your work. When I watched the trailer, and many people like me, what you did for Alia's look and what you did as a costume designer, that stood out to me.
Yeah.
Like most movies that you are a part of, your work stands out. It's incredible that how much costumes bring to the table of a whole film. You know what I mean?
I think it's more than costume. Also, it's a look. When you're it's a specific look. You could like it or dislike it, but it kind of still.
Is there a process of how you create these looks?
I kind of like to listen to a script first from a show. And earlier days when they used to not have a script, then I would try to make my own notes out of the character and move with that. Then I kind of think that, okay, this is this person. Where does she stay? What's the education? What's the income? What's the role in the film? Where does his role go? And things like that. So, and then I kind of form a collection. In fact, just now, Also, we're having a meeting for this film that I'm doing for Dharma, which has Janvi and Sania Malhotra. I'm doing their costumes. So they both are young girls, but they both are glamorous in the film, but they're still different from each other.
Do you ever talk to the actress and
Yeah,
ask
of
them
course, of course.
their input?
Yeah, I think I've never been one of those designers who approaches a concept of design or anything where like, oh, I know it better than you. It's
You're
never that.
collaborative.
I always feel that you're going to wear it, and if you don't feel special, you won't look that special. You know? I don't want it to scream like, oh, it's my outfit, but I want it to look like you're looking great in it. So whether it's a bride's mother, whether it's an actor, I always like to discuss it.
That's nice. I
Yeah.
mean, okay, what's your favorite costume? Is that too big a question to ask? Which film have you been very happy with your own costumes?
There are quite a few,
But-
and there are
so name me a
many,
few.
and there are many that I'm not also.
Whose iconic look in K3G?
Yeah,
I mean, there are
yeah.
too many iconic looks that you've done, but
I mean,
tell me
there-
what you've loved.
I think Ashoka,
Oof, Ashoka,
Rangila.
Manish, Ashoka was
Yeah.
unreal.
Ashoka, Rangila. Then there's Mehuna, all those saris.
Oof, yeah.
Of course, K3G and Dilwale, Dulhania Le Jayenge, Dil To Pagal Hai, Dostana, Jab We Met, Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani.
Where would Bollywood be without you?
No,
It would
Bollywood
be. It would not be such a.
No.
it would not
Listen,
be this beautiful.
The best directors, the best actors have come and gone, and Bollywood is going on. So
And you're
Bollywood
still
goes
there.
on. No, I mean, Bollywood will go on because in Indian cinema, Bollywood and cricket, some things are just inborn. So by the I think age of 6, I was in love with films. And I'm very grateful to my mother who never really stopped me.
She
In fact,
encouraged it,
recently I asked her this question because I live with my mother and I was asking her, we're having morning tea. I said, how come you never stopped me for going to see so many films?
Yeah.
She says, that was the only thing that you loved. And I just didn't want to stop my son from something that
He loved.
He loved.
That's so
and,
sweet,
And, then,
yeah.
and so I think that is where I saw life, lifestyle, clothes, color. Then I was into sketching, painting, music. So I think I've loved it so much that I think it's lovely.
It comes out, now.
Yeah.
When you love something,
Yeah.
you do such a good job with it because
Yeah.
all that love is coming out.
And I think maybe I studied it so much that I was like, I kind of understood the math of it. Then I had the privilege and honor of working with Sri Devi,
Yeah.
who was such a big star. I
The
was a
biggest
huge
icon.
fan of.
Yeah.
She was, there can be no one like her. And then I learned a lot from her with the costume, the tailoring part, or don't give gathers in your skirt.
What
don't
looks
do
good
this.
on camera.
Yeah, on
That's a
camera.
whole different
so
story,
working with
yeah.
her also was a great experience in the initial years.
We have to discuss the sequin sari because that is very iconic to you lately in the last
Yeah.
couple of years.
Yeah.
Tell me, how many shades have you made? 86,000.
I don't know how many. I'll tell you how, it's very interestingly how it came about. So we were thinking, and I was saying, in a conversation, I was telling my assistant that, when my sister-in-law got married, I remember my mother making clothes for my sister-in-law, and I would go with my mother shopping very enthusiastically. And I remember she buying a Banarsi sari, and it's the 80s, like say 81, and she made a chiffon sari with sequins work on it. And in those days, it was a given, like one chiffon sari with sequins work, and
Like the cocktail sari.
yeah, like a cocktail sari or like a reception sari. I said, why don't we bring that back? And I remember my mother had got it made in self-color. So let's do it. That's how the sequin sari came about.
So the credit should go to your mom.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is
and-
that
and
the highest selling sari in
and
your
the 80s,
stores?
I think you're right. Sequin sari must have been the highest seller.
Your saris are iconic. I mean,
Okay. Thank you.
I swear, like it's every woman's dream to be in your sari.
Okay. I like the way I'm showing them to you.
Yeah, it's stunning, stunning. Like I would wear from this lot. I love this.
Yeah.
And I even like something so simple. I mean, it's so simple, but it's so me and it's so beautiful, Oh, and look at the pearl detail in the back. Stunning. But I want to try this one because every stunning actress has worn this in a different color. And this is your bestseller, like we spoke about it.
Yeah.
How much is the sari? I want to know because it's a bestseller. I want to know how much you.
How much is this for? I mean, this one is a little, because it's shaded, it's ombre, it's about for 2.5 lakhs.
But they're all shaded, no?
Yeah, not all. Sometimes they're just one color, but this is lots of colors.
Oh yeah, it's like a metallic ombre.
Yeah.
Stunning. And then wait, this is the pallu, no?
Yeah.
Beautiful. You know what it is also? It's the way it falls. When you're wearing a sari, you never want to feel like bulky in it.
Yeah.
You want to feel sleek, you know?
Yes. Especially with so much sequence.
Take
But
this
what I'm
around.
so happy was it's become a trend.
Everybody must have copied this.
It's become quite a thing. But like, see where the colors fall. There are different shades that it takes. So it's like a more rose gold. It's more silver. It's a more bronzy, olivey gold.
Stunning. Fun. It's a fun sari. And actually,
Yeah.
you know what? It looks heavy, but it's not.
It doesn't feel heavy.
I don't
right?
feel heavy.
I think that's also why it's popular.
And I've never seen one sari in so many colorways, like I said. You are a
And
genius with color.
different,
Huh?
difference, yeah.
I think one of your biggest fortes, I mean, you have too many as we have discussed, but is sense of color.
Yeah, that is
You've
something.
done ombre in colors that I would not even imagine together.
So colors are something that really attracts me. In fact, a lot of actresses, I remember even Aishwarya telling me that, I've always noticed the color, there's a selecting a
that sense
peach
of color,
and then there's a selecting another peach. So I think color is something that I...
It's one of your strongest suits to
In
know.
fact, Mrs. Ambani also says that every time. So I'm really,
it really is.
Yeah. This is the embroidery we did for Ivanka Trump as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she wore a lehenga out of, but it's very...
Light? Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is featherweight.
Yeah, it's
Oh
very,
my God.
very light.
Do saris sell the most at your stores or lehengas?
Well, lehengas and sarees.
Both.
Yes, in the last 7 to 8 years, menswear has really, climbed up for us.
Yeah?
And especially for the wedding day, for the Sangeet, of course. But yeah, so menswear has also done really well for us.
I mean, do they come as a couple and say we're both going to wear Manish? Is
Yes,
that a thing?
many a time.
It's easy because then you can coordinate the outfits.
Many a times.
Yeah. You know, this reminds me of like the Great Gatsby or the 20s. There's something so like vintage about this, right? This would be a nice cocktail look or something.
Yeah.
What's your favorite from all of these?
I would say what? All sequin sarees are my favorite.
Yeah. They have to be. They're your best sellers.
Yeah.
So how do you plan your retail? First of all, I am surprised after the Ambani wedding of dressing every guest, you have clothes left to hang. How do you plan this? Like, how do you plan your retail? Do you go festive season by festive season? What do you do?
When I started the brand in 2005, I actually thought that it's going to be a small brand, whereas I will continue with movies. So I told my sister-in-law and brother, why don't we just start with sarees and tunics?
Right.
Okay, and we won't even have a store. We will give clothes to different stores because the name is already popular.
Exactly.
In 1.5 years, we had to start a store in Mumbai. But to be honest, for a couple of years, I was still finding myself. I had opened a store much earlier in 1999 called Reverie with Yashnavanti Birla. And at that time also, I think I was finding my ground because it was very rare that a costume designer and stylist is coming into mainstream. And of course, at that time, lots of backlash or his clothes only sell because actors wear it or sequin.
But what's wrong with that?
I mean, that all happened.
People are very influenced by films.
No. But you see, when I speak about 1999, Delhi was the fashion scene and Mumbai also was divided. Like it was more town, and Bandra onwards was considered like, oh, we don't
Somewhere
even go
else.
that side.
Yeah.
Somewhere else. Today it's not like that, right?
Not at all.
And also because I came with the movies, I remember my first fashion show had all film stars sitting and they were like, oh, why is that? And all of that. Of course, with time today, all those things that I did, so not only starting trend in clothes, the showstopper concept, the concept of celebrities sitting on the front row, or the concept of sequins and glamour and glitz, these are all things that I got a lot of backlash
That
for.
you started.
Yeah, but I
And now
started.
everybody does.
it, you
Yeah.
know? I don't give in to criticism. I kind of listen, especially with positive people who have close friends who have something to say. In fact, just yesterday, one friend told me something about a finishing, and I said, oh, I must look into it.
Yeah, that's
Things
nice.
like that,
Take criticism well.
Yeah,
That's really nice.
But it's not something that, when I see that it's just happening for effect, I say no.
You know what to take, what to block out.
It's like I never stop calling film stars because they were my friends, because I'm working with them in movies.
Right.
So when I'm having a fashion show, I will call people who I know.
Exactly. They're
Right?
genuinely your friends.
Yeah.
Also, it's obviously the best marketing that one could get, which everybody later realized.
Yeah.
Also, I think you're probably one of the only designers who doesn't pay film stars to come to his fashion shows.
No.
It's true. Because
Yeah.
they are genuinely your friends.
Yeah.
And they're doing it because you yourself are a household name. If somebody's at your fashion show or walking for you, they get a crazy amount of press, which,
Yeah.
of course, actors also need and want. You're one of the only people who doesn't pay them, I think. A lot of the other designers have to pay them and chase them to get them there.
But I think that's because they're very respectful because of my work in the movies. So I think that's why it is.
Yeah.
But I think even with social media, I think we as a brand were one of the first designers to see a lot of potential in growth on social media and putting up our work there.
Yeah.
One of the first two, I think 2-3 designers that just started, and I was one of the in that, so that's why we have a very good following on social media.
You have a good
as
following,
well.
and can I be really honest? I can speak for myself, and definitely everybody younger than me. Somehow, I'd rather just see the clothes on Instagram. Sometimes because they're shot well, I'll get to see close-up details. Like in a fashion show, you make so much effort to go and it just passes by and you're like, oh, I didn't really catch that properly, you know?
Yeah.
On social media, I can zoom in, I can take my time, I can watch the video 3 times.
It's very important for you to do a fashion show when you have something new to tell. And not just do a fashion show
For the
because
sake of
it's
it.
a week or
Yeah,
it's a this thing, you know. I don't think that time's gone.
Yeah, I
because then
agree.
you're just getting your friends who are like, oh my God, I have to
They're
go.
also tired,
You know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
And it's creating a social media buzz for just for that limited time.
Yeah.
So I like, for example, for this year, I decided, no, I'm not doing a fashion show.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a bridal show. I'm taking a different narrative of, shooting a fashion film or a fashion video or, or putting up it on Instagram because I feel I've just finished with the wedding.
Yeah.
And now rushing to do a fashion show just for the sake of it is something that I actually always, as a person, have always not gone by a norm.
That's good.
Earlier, of course, you're given, when you're new,
Yeah.
you feel, okay, maybe this is the norm.
The
maybe
right
this
way
is
to do it, yeah.
It takes time, but you find yourself.
Exactly.
Delhi was a game changer for me,
Delhi
honestly.
is your best market, right?
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
the best for every designer.
For everybody. Yeah, Delhi is amazing.
But
yeah.
when I opened my store in Delhi, and I was very keen to open a vintage store because they have that kind of
Haveli
spaces,
culture, they have those beautiful, yeah.
I think that's been a very big game changer for us, for our brand as well. And now we recently opened in Dubai Mall.
Yes,
at the
I heard.
Fashion Avenue.
Congratulations,
And now
yes.
we have this wonderful Jio Plaza
How do you
Mall.
keep up with so many stores?
So you're just working for 20 hours out of 24
That's
hours.
again, it is.
Yeah,
that
that's
workaholic, that loving what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But tell me
Just
this.
the other day, I asked my assistant, why is everybody's eyes looking tired and my eyes are not looking tired or that? So he turns around and tells me, sir, your work is your life.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, yes.
I think your work makes you like excited and less tired. Somehow you're in some reverse program than most people. It's crazy. It's really crazy. No, but tell me this because there are a lot of brides, including one in the room. A lot of brides who are going to be getting married this season, of course. What are the trends? Like, what should they be doing? What are the things that they should look out for? Because obviously you're an expert.
I would definitely say a textile, and
I think getting back into textiles is big
textile.
now.
Yeah, I would think something like that would be really pretty. And I also feel, I'm enjoying seeing brides now a little more in diamonds than so much of the, other jewelry because I feel that it looks a little more classic.
More elevated?
Yeah, And I think another trend that would be that I feel red is a big color again this year.
Yeah.
And pastels have been a bit too done in the last couple of years.
Especially by the actors.
Yeah.
In the
We've
last
done a
couple
lot
of years.
pastels.
Yeah.
So I think now it will be nicer to go into more deeper shades.
Manish, what you did for Radhika on her Vidai.
Yeah, that everybody's like.
That was a stunning outfit. And it was like a mix of an orange and a red. You used different
shades of
handloom fabrics.
Yes.
And I also thought the blouse was very unique.
So
it was traditional but very unique.
So the blouse actually is something which is an Ahmedabad craft. It was a gold zari blouse where we added more badla and real zari to it. And we cut it out in that pattern.
Yes, it was very,
so it was interesting. So I think that's what I would think this season would be all about.
That's your recommendation.
Yeah.
Another look that I thought stood out to me of yours was on the wedding day, Isha wore this beautiful embroidered saree in white with these like pink and pastel flowers.
That's right, yeah.
What was that? It was stunning.
That was honestly Isha's idea and Anaita's idea because Isha wanted to wear like a Georgette saree with very vintage thread work.
Yeah, it looked vintage.
It
like one of those old, like beautiful Parsi sarees or something, you know?
So that was actually her idea and she wanted something like that.
And I like from such a classic saree, you gave a very sexy blouse, huh?
Yeah.
Nice and deep. The cut was beautiful.
Yeah. So it matches it. It makes it more younger.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Anaita added the dupatta to it.
It did look good. The dupatta did look
nice.
good.
Yes.
The whole thing looked stunning.
Yeah.
Those were very beautiful, beautiful outfits, I thought, recently.
Thank you.
So what are your plans now? Super busy.
No,
You
no,
can't
no.
catch Manish.
No,
Like,
I
where are
mean,
you? Singapore, Paris,
No,
this place,
no,
that
not
place.
at all.
Yeah.
I think right now the plan would be that we, of course, the wedding season starting, and like I said, we want to work a lot more with craft,
Yeah.
handloom, and all of it, and different. You know, like recently I'm doing something with a Kanjivaram, and
Yeah.
things like that. And of course, we've established these 2 stores in Dubai Mall and here, so we're going to look more deeper into it.
Into the shops, yeah.
And I think and then probably come up with another vertical next year. So I think, yeah, the business part of it is also exciting.
Wow.
I'm
crazy.
learning.
Yeah, we're always learning.
Yeah,
Otherwise, that's the only
yeah,
way to evolve.
yeah.
And that's the only way to
So,
stay relevant.
yeah, latter half of this year we'll open. This is the diffuse line.
Yeah, I was just saying the jacket is so cool.
Which is my entire young
Yeah.
team designs it, and so that's one store which will come at Emporio, Delhi,
Oh,
and
cool.
one store which will open here
in
Jio World Plaza.
in
yeah.
Jio World Plaza. I wanted to ask, you're going very international lately. A lot of iconic, beautiful international women are wearing Manish. So first it was the Manish Malhotra jewelry, that stunning necklace on J-Lo with the emeralds.
Yeah.
She looked really good that
Yeah,
day. And then you
yeah.
made her birthday outfit,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah, so actually they got in touch with us for the jewelry again, and we
Yeah.
said, but what's the theme? And they said it was the Bridgerton theme.
Yeah.
And we said, why don't we, make the outfit? And they said, we'd love to see sketches, and we sketched it all out, and they loved what we sketched, and then it was about the garment also.
Yeah.
So we used a very interesting brocade, which was vintage. It took time to find that, and the embroidery, all of that, and that's how the dress happened. She loved it. Then
How did the
alterations
necklace
and-
go on her? That emerald necklace, the stunning with the emeralds
Yeah.
like this. It was for her movie premiere. She
That's
was a
right,
black
yeah.
and white dress. It was
So I
very
think our stylist reached out to my team,
Yeah.
and that's how it worked.
Yeah, and you're doing Rihanna. You
Yeah.
guys have done, you did Cannes.
Yeah, and then we
Kim
did Kim
Kardashian
Kardashian,
when she
Khloe
was here.
Kardashian, yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you
It's
enjoy
been fun.
dressing these international women?
Of course, and I think the fact that they are respecting the Indian craft and craftsmen and artistry, and the
Yeah.
artisans.
Yeah.
And I think they're appreciating the jewelry, the clothes, the fabric. It's a great move, in terms of. I think India is up there. Right?
Yeah, of course, of course.
India is up
It's
there in the
everyone.
world.
It's on everyone's radar.
Yeah, India is doing so well with the craft and the artistry and all of it that I think India is up there, and it's something that the world is interested in, and that's the great. We are going to see a lot more designers and a lot more beautiful work done by different designers, I think, on the international platforms.
Do you plan on showcasing or doing a show anywhere outside of India? Well,
Maybe
Dubai,
next
you're
year.
already there.
Maybe next
Yeah.
year. Dubai, I've been working for a long
Yeah,
time.
you're
I had a
already
store in
there.
Dubai earlier
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
But I think, next year we plan to do that. Yeah.
Go more
So
international.
year by year.
But then you will change your silhouettes and sensibility slightly to suit like an international taste level or like how they'd like to dress and stuff, right?
And that's the study.
Yeah.
Now, so you see, even in the Dubai, for example, we have to change the silhouettes a bit, and we have to work on that. That's something that we are doing.
Yeah.
So I think, like you rightly said, every country has its own, kind of.
What they
dress
need and
code.
their
Yeah.
aesthetic and their
So
needs.
that is
yeah.
a study. That is a study.
Yeah.
In fact, in our international collection, we are still to come out one with the gowns and all of that.
Right.
That's something we're working on as well.
Right.
So it's not just the look, it's not just the embroidery, it's also the structuring.
Yeah.
And that's something that we are working on.
Yeah. I want to ask your advice for all the kids who want to be designers, and obviously they all look up to you. How important is talent vis-a-vis say PR and being at the right place at the right time, getting to know the right people, being friends with your clients? How important are all these things when you're trying to make yourself into a household name or establish yourself?
But I think the biggest PR is good work.
Exactly.
And the
Yeah.
biggest PR would be how professional you are.
Yeah.
No amount of PR or friendship can help you
If you're
as
not
much
good.
as good work can.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
And the fact that you take it seriously. You could be very friendly with me. You've ordered an outfit for me for a very important function. I don't deliver it to you. You say, okay, you know what? I'm friends with them. I'll continue as a friend. I don't want to get an outfit from.
That's true, actually.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I mean?
very
And
right.
especially more today, whether it's their wedding, whether it's their party, whether it's a red carpet, it's very important to them that they look good.
Yeah.
So I think in my case, having worked with every film star and still working in movies in 34 years, it's because I've kept it to friendship is another thing, but I've kept it to I'm very professional with the job.
Yeah.
Like even with Karan, I met him in 1992. I'm the only technician in Dharma Productions who than every Karan's like film of Karan's.
Wow, yeah.
And to keep a friendship, sometimes to keep a friendship and professionalism is not easy.
No, not at
you
all.
know?
Not at all.
And it is difficult, in fact. And it's so a lot of times people think, oh, you're friendly to the star, so this happened, or you're friendly to that one. No, it's not.
But if you were not good at your work, it would have never
won't
lasted.
happen.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, and you're not professional, and if you didn't feel the job.
So can I just add an anecdote here? Like, I've known Manish for many, many years, and I have never seen Manish complain about anybody, have one bad word to say about anyone, which in fashion, everyone has a lot to say about everybody, and in film, to be honest. But I think this is one thing I always discuss with my friends, and I've learned from you, that like, how kind and polite you are to everybody and about everybody. I think that's a really big deal. And the whole industry who's like this.
Somebody recently told me that. That's why I'm laughing. Which is somebody
it's true.
yesterday told me that.
Yeah.
No, so the thing is that I don't know. It's just a nature. Okay, it comes from my mother. So I actually don't find it so unusual.
But it is, you know.
Yeah,
this,
I mean,
obviously.
so
yeah.
I remember many years ago. Okay, we were going for this film called Mujhse Dosti Karoge, and there was another designer friend of mine, and he said, you know, now that I'm talking to you, I'm feeling so guilty. I said, guilty about what? So he says, you know, we all used to meet and we used to all just talk about this and talk about your work, talk about you, all that. So I said, you know, I heard about that. So he says, but did you ever feel bad? I said, no, because while you all were doing that, I was working.
Exactly.
So
you were moving up in life.
And there came a phase in Delhi also of, you know, where there were a lot of these critiques who had started writing about fashion designers and fashion shows and all of that. And they would say, oh, you've got this review and you've got this. I said, guys, it's not the review. It's the clothes that I have to sell.
It's the sales
and
that
yeah,
matter.
And the next day I'm in the store selling the clothes. So I think it's very important. And we just spoke about it before the interview started, that there's so much going on, whether it's on social media, you know, the running that we all do. It's very important to somewhere keep it simple. Keep your sanity.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so my house atmosphere is simple. I like to get up early, you know, and I think it's something that I keep more about music and movies and this and that rather than talking about, you know, I don't really get it.
Yeah, you're interested in like having a good time, like with your friends and good food and, you know, instead
good
of...
food is a very big thing.
Yeah, food is the center of my life as well. All amazing people love food. I was going to ask, is anybody a muse do you consider today? I know you've had muses in the past, like Sri Devi and stuff, but today, do you consider anybody a muse?
Today is because I would say Janvi, you know, and I would say, but I think, but all these girls, but it's Sarah, Ananya, Alia, of course, Kiara, they all kind of, you know, today there's so much exposure and there's so much knowledge out there with lovely stylists and this, that, all of it. I think they also kind of know their style. But I actually, maybe because that's an old school thought, I don't know, but I kind of like the fact that Shah Rukh sticks to his black. And he sticks to clean
He has
silhouettes.
a signature. Like,
I like what Salman does, which is his thing. I love Rekha ji for what she does.
For me, she's the biggest icon.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think I kind of like that because I feel that you're remembered by that rather than too much of change of style. I kind of love that.
Do you consider anybody your competition in terms of designers or costume designers?
I've never thought of that. Well, costumes I do much lesser. I only do like many a time.
So in designers, do you consider anybody competition?
Well, I wouldn't say competition, but there's so many seniors. Because I remember when Ensemble was starting in 1987 or 88, I used to model. And those days I was like, okay, one day I'll also be a designer, but in costumes. I'll never have a store or something. That's what my thought then was. And they're all still working. They're all doing such good work. So I think that's very credible because for designers to, I know it's difficult.
Longevity is hard.
And it's difficult to sustain for that long. So I have tremendous respect for that. And so many of the younger designers have something so wonderful to say. So I wouldn't consider anyone competition, or I don't think there's a competition because I feel that in this large world and large space, everybody has their space. And I think today even clients, they're very clear, you know, that this function I'm wearing this designer, that function I want to wear another designer, which I think is great. That was not there a couple of years ago. So only somebody who likes X designer's work or Y designer, they'll only go to that person. But so we didn't get that one kind of crowd. You know, we would get. But today it's all, you know, it's all intermingled. Because everybody wants to try different things for different occasions. And of course, where there's a lot more professionalism or there's a lot more liking, then you kind of tend to, in your wedding, 90% get a lot more from that designer.
100%.
But still there is that variations,
Yeah, yeah.
which everybody wants, and I think that's only fair.
Yeah, that's only fair. And
Yeah.
if you do a good job and if you give a client a good service, they'll always come back. There's no
Yeah.
question about it.
Like I said, there's nothing,
Yeah.
even with movies, the fact that I say, no, I can't do it, I have so much going on, do this film and all, because I still, till date, take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, oh, this has to be delivered. What's the director's point of view on this? What is the actor's feeling? So you have to just be very professional about your work. I think that's most important.
Do you enjoy doing item numbers? Because you're very good at it, huh?
I love songs, first
Songs,
of all.
huh,
Yeah,
huh.
I love them. So yeah, when I get to do a song, I love to do a song.
So like many years ago, I'm talking like many years ago, Jackie was doing some song with Prabhu Deva.
Yeah, I remember
So
that.
she called me, she was like, Perns, can you do? I said, me? I was like, are you crazy? If I was doing a song with Prabhu Deva, I'll put myself in your place. The person I'd be calling immediately was Manish, because nobody on this earth is going to make you look hotter and better for a song like this.
Like Janvi's that song, Nadia Par, that
Hot.
outfit was made in one day.
Hot though, very hot.
It was one day.
Yeah.
She called me up, I'm stuck. I don't know. I had just one day left, and I was trying it with some other designer. Is it okay if you can help me? I'm Janvi's like, he's
She's like family
but
too. Yeah.
I said, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So I said, what's the brief? What's the thing? It's all, and it was made in one day. And I think she
tell.
called me in the afternoon. She's shooting next morning.
I mean, it fit her like a glove, and she looked amazing.
I think that was a changing factor for her also. That
100%.
Like Janvi from that song
100%.
changed to being this,
There was
very
something
oomphy,
about her
sexy,
confidence
and
in that
confident,
song. I
yeah.
mean, she danced well, but it was also the confidence.
That whole sensuousness came to her from that song. Actually,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Which other song of yours do you think about it and you're like, yeah, that was
I really
amazing.
enjoyed doing Rocky and Rani's that song where we went to Kashmir.
Oh, it
Because
was
after
so
really
pretty.
long, we were doing
was
this.
so pretty.
Hero in a trench coat, heroine in a chiffon sari.
Yeah.
And I've done so many of those in Switzerland.
When you think of Bollywood, you think, I just want to be in a such chiffon saree and snow,
And Pony, at one time in our life, we used to go to Switzerland like as if we are going to, like going to Taj Hotel, like to town from Bandra.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it took me back to that time and I really enjoyed it. I keep telling Karan, make K3G2.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
please.
it'd be so much fun.
That would be amazing. But like, what would it be? I guess where they are now, the whole family? What are they up to?
He has to think, but I would come with the clothes,
Yeah, oh God. Please, that would be amazing. Please do it. Anyway,
too, Fab,
thank you, Manish. I just want to thank you so much
No
for coming.
pleasure.
And like, we've been
I want to meet you every
meaning to
week.
do this.
You have such good things to say, so I want to meet
Because I'm a fan of yours. You've known this
you're a
forever.
friend of mine.
Yeah, well, I'm a friend and a fan.
And we love
honestly.
each other.
I look up to you, and I think it's really important to have mentors you look up to in whichever industry you're in. Yeah, but congratulations on this stunning store.
Thank you.
Jio World Plaza.
Thank
Guys,
you.
if you haven't come, check it out because this store is stunning, but also like there's a lot in this.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, including great pizza in the basement, guys.
Yeah?
Which I'm going to eat after this. Yeah. Thank you.
Fun. Thank you.